I lost about 2 years worth of gym progress because I got lost somewhere in the mix of science based lifting and is this lift more impactful than the other one? Should I train to failure or should I leave 1 or 2 reps in reserve? How much sleep do I need to get for muscle lift? Oh man, I got 6 hours today. I'm making no muscle day, bro. That's gonna be like 50% fat. Hmm, should I be bulking with rice? With pasta potato? Oh, the carbs, bro. The carb spike, man. The blood sugar. And I got lost within that. Social media. It's nice to see a little clip about eating carb specific way, sleeping a specific way, training a specific way. This tip that then stays in your mind. And I got lost among all of that and didn't focus on eating right, training hard, and being consistent. Honestly, when I was 16 and 17, right, I was give or take, like, I think I went from like 58 to about 62 kilos, 63 kilos, give or take like a 5 kilo range. Then, when I turned 18, I had a really good bulking year. I went from about 62 to 72 kilos, cut down a little bit, was at about 70. Now, it's about 10 months later, and I'm 80 kilos. I'm gonna push this to about 81, 82, cut down 77, 78, basically be the same leanness, but a lot stronger, and of course, like added 10, 15% to my like actual weight and muscle. Now, here are a couple things that really stopped me from developing progress for a long time. They are the most common myths that we kind of allow in our mind, and we get lost among all of them. It's like we train like a middle-aged woman. You see them there and they're at the gym, like high reps. They as they're talking to their friend Susan, and then they just stop the set, and then next onto the next exercise and the next exercise and the next exercise. Broke maybe like one bead of sweat on leg press, and that's it. We're training the same way because we're like, yeah, bro, I don't want to train to failure. I'll train to failure on my last set. My last set, I'll also leave this much in reserve because that's the optimal amount for it. Like, brother, we're not some professional Olympic level athletes that are working perfectly, and now our coach is telling us push less on this machine for whatever reason. We want to get bigger, we want to get stronger, we want to put muscle on, we want to look good. Any excuse of you're not pushing to failure is going to take you well below failure. It's not like you'll get to almost 1 rep. It's the fact that you'll get maybe like 70% of the way and stop. How can I say this with a guarantee? Because if someone took a gun and pointed it at you, you would pump out more reps. And we're like, oh yeah, well, of course. Here's the disagreeable part. If I went on the bar and I put 300 kilos and told you bench press it, someone can point a gun at you or say anything to you. You are not lifting that weight, bro. That's a fact. There is a limit, so we know there's a limit. It's not just a psychological thing. Now, the issue that I had with this, right, is that I would allow myself to not quit early. But that's why I really liked kind of training calisthenics, training high reps, because I could train to failure. Like I could just do a push up and then just try do another push up until I'm like spazzing and I can't and I fail the push up. Still now, for example, I was doing lateral raise earlier. I'm there, I've hit rep like 18, so too high. I should have done a highway, whatever. I'm there and I'm trying to push it and I'm doing like little flaps like a bird and I can't lift my hands higher than this. That's when I knew, okay, that's the rep right there. That's the final one. I fought it for a couple of seconds. I thought, good. There was a big period before this where I think to myself, oh no, leave like 1 rep in reserve. Massive lie, bro. Always try train to failure. I guarantee you, bro, you are not pushing to actual failure that your muscles are completely getting shredded that yeah you should leave maybe 1 2 reps in reserve. It's like we're so far from it because it's so painful and so obnoxiously difficult to actually reach failure. Like, if you were truly reaching failure, then every single set would feel like a no. You're going for like a what's it called? Like a personal, like a PB, PR. Yeah, the PR. I train from home now, bro. I'm forgetting all the terminology. It's like every single set would feel like a PR. Like you'd just like be warming up, you'd be in the zone. You'd be like, okay, music in, sit down properly. The form. You wouldn't just kind of lay down and just go, put it back. So important, bro. I wasted so long doing this. 2 years, I was like, yeah, and I'll train, and I did enough sets today. Yeah, I didn't even sweat. I would finish the set, said I'll be able to talk. That's the problem right there, bro. Now the next one, I don't want to get fat, bro. This one hurts me to my core. because I did it for so long where I wouldn't bulk. I guarantee you, bro, it's so much more difficult for you to actually put on weight and get like a lot of fat on you than we expect if you eat clean. If you eat junk food, yeah, of course, it's so easy. If you eat pizza every day and you're there having a milkshake and a Starbucks coffee, and each of the Starbucks coffees like 500 calories, I guarantee you it's easy as hell to get fat. If you're eating clean food, like a normal meal, rice, pasta, potatoes with any meat, a sauce, and vegetables, you are not getting fat easily, bro. You are not putting weight on easily. It takes months and it takes a lot of consistent and dedicated eating. I have to eat more than I want to put on size, of course. Because if you ate however much you wanted to and felt okay with it, that's your maintenance. You don't put weight on that. That's the thing about it as well. We focus so much on progressively overloading, you know, the gym, the weight, the reps. We don't focus on progressively overloading the eating. And 3 months down the line, your gaining weight is gonna gain you less, and then in 6 months is gonna be your maintenance. So you ain't gonna be gaining anything from it. I wasted a lot of time with that because, of course, the first bulk, like I started eating another meal. I like, okay, I'm feeling good, and then I just stuck basically without much food for like 2 years and made no progress virtually. Now, science-based lifting versus science-based sitting. This is a little one I wrote here because it's basically what I was stuck in. It's that we're so focused on like this little thing and this exercise and this whatever. Brother, I guarantee you, from my personal experience and all my friends that actually are in shape versus the ones that aren't, it's my friend for reference, who is the most in shape guy I know. He's like, I think at 6'1", he's like 86 kilos lean, was bulked up to like 90. Guys, wham. His training routine is the most unoptimized, diabolically terrible thing I have ever seen. It's like biceps and shoulders on one day, and then chest, triceps, and back on another with legs like quad or hams. It's just random. Works for him. Why? Because he's just been progressively overloading it for years. This is the workout I like. This is what I'm going to do, and he just did it for 5 years. It's not complicated, bro. We're not trying to be Mr. Olympia here. I mean, if you are, fantastic. We're not actively, competing for like a bodybuilding competition, and it's like the slight differences in how optimal it is. We get so bogged down in it, and the problem with that is, I had the issue of I think to myself, yeah, but why would I not do the most optimal workout? Push pull legs or Arnold split, whatever. If it's not the workout style you like, you're not going to be as consistent with it. It can be the most like perfect workout routine. Yeah, but if you're 70% consistent with it, who cares? This is why now for the last 2 years where I've made my most progress, I've just been doing full body because that's what that's what I love doing, bro. It's got me in fantastic progress. Is it most optimal? Hell no. Did it work for me? Of course. Would it work for you? Of course. The last thing is that discipline is easy, but here's how to unlock it. It's so easy for us to think, okay, all it realistically is eat more food than normal, eat clean, and go gym every day. If you really want to have a rest day, whatever. But the thing that I found is the way that you improve your discipline with this is you remove the excuses from your mind that come from watching all this content about like this advice and these tips and whatever. Stick to the basics and actually make them happen, bro. That's what to me solved it. Is that stop bogging yourself down with everything. Focus on this part of the discipline and do just that. If you want to improve your sleep, improve your sleep. If you want to take more supplements, take more supplements. If you want to do whatever, XYZ, add another cardio session, stretching session, do that. But do that, add extra things once you're already, say, 90-95% consistent with your workout. Then add something else. Don't see this to yourself and think, okay, I need to have hour and a half, like a 1 hour workout, then a 30-minute session of stretching, cardio, dead hangs, like spine extensions for all I care. Like, then I need to take my electrolyte water. Like, brother, you say this, you've hit a workout 50% of the time this last month. I was like that for years. Don't do the same mistake as me, bro. Hit the first part correctly, whether it's less sets, easier, whatever. Do that. Next part then. Hope this helps, brother. Join the Discord. We talk about stuff like this all the time. Much love, and I'll see you there.